Not gonna get me on the stroke of 10 here.
No pressure. We're all watching.
Call the meeting to order. Ms. Clary?
Dear Father, we thank you for all the seasons, but we especially thank you for the spring. It's really, when we do that, we think about all the people that lives whole year, the farmers, the youth that are spreading their wings, the essential workers, the firemen and volunteer rescue squad. Please protect them and try to keep all of our
Wilson?
Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. In the event we're required to evacuate the chamber in the building, please take the appropriate exit, all directions of first responders, and rally in a safe location away from the building. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Hanky,
I am here.
Mrs. Fedler,
Present.
Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Shaw,
Here.
Mr. Hall,
Here.
Mr. Fisher,
Here.
Mr. Baker,
Here.
Mr. Nolan,
Here.
Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Hahn,
Here.
Mr. Campbell,
Here.
Mr. Skelly,
Here.
Mr. Hogan, Mr. Wilson,
Here.
Mrs. Clary,
Here.
Mr. Wang,
Here, ma'am.
Mr. Roselle.
Here. Thank you. We start off the morning here with some presentations of the couple of the retirements. The retirements are all listed in the back of your. If you want to run through them with me. Number one is Loretta Bates, which I saw somewhere. Loretta has been our historian. She retired December of this year. She was employed here 18 years and 5 months, but she volunteered prior to that. She has a total of 33 years assisting the county here. Say anything?
Are you kidding? I'm the best job I've ever had in my life. I did not want to retire. I'm 88, but we ended up with some physical things, so I had to be. I just want to tell you a couple of things that I managed to do while I was here. I got the internet going with lists people would go to and look for information. And we would put indexes on, so you'd see your family name, but you'd have to pay $20 to find out what it was for. I also managed to get 2 grants. And one of them, I said I wouldn't leave the office until I got it. And it was a $54,000 grant. We had all the Hudson Falls papers done from 1829 to 1945. They're in the office only. We haven't put them out yet. And I wrote 3 books while I was here. 2 of them on the poorhouse. That was my major thing. So I did a couple of things. Got a couple of signs put up, and I'm just kind of happy that I was able to do what I was. So thank you.
We're delighted that you were
Thank
here.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put these back. I'm curious. Thank you, Loretta.
Forgot the most major thing in the whole thing. 18 years, he's with the new historian. Mike Armstrong was my volunteer for over 23.
DPW, Joanna Zuski, retired in April, 12 years and 6 months. Is Joe here? In that case, Deborah.
Always late.
Elizabeth Casella, retired in February, 11 years and 1 month. Is Elizabeth here? No. For motor vehicle, I got Michelle Brower. Obviously, she's here. Michelle retired in February after 10 years. Say anything? If you do, speak into the mic.
No, I really don't have much to say, especially following Loretta. But you know, you work your whole life and you can't wait to retire. And to be honest with you, there's days, I think maybe I retired too soon. I'm being very lazy
Well,
and that's not what I had intended to do. But it's nice to see everybody and
we missed you. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Okay, now I've got a proclamation. It's also in your packet. I don't lightly, as you know, but this one I think is a particularly good one. If I could have Lily Rose Prevost come up here, please. Right there. You're gonna need your wide angle lens in a minute. Yeah. You can get the good pictures now. I feel really good giving this to Lily and in full disclosure, she is my niece, but she managed to overcome some questionable genetics and a really savage cultural heritage coming from her maternal grandfather. And has done exceptionally well in several layers. This is a proclamation to honor Lily Rose Prevost, whose middle name is Pauline, by the way. As volleyball MVP and Timberwolf of the Year for 2024. It says, whereas Lily P. Prevost has been a student at SUNY Adirondack and will graduate this spring. And whereas Lily has been an exemplary student achieving Dean's List every semester at SUNY Adirondack. And whereas she has proven to be a superlative athlete, and by the way, Joanne's here, you can translate the big words for Guy if you want. Superlative athlete at the collegiate level and has been co-captain of the SUNY Adirondack volleyball team. And whereas Lily will be on the all-region team and travel to Italy to play volleyball on the international stage this summer. And whereas she shares her ability and success with others by coaching youth clinics in volleyball. And whereas Lily Rose Prevost has been honored not only as SUNY Adirondack's volleyball most valuable player, but also has been chosen as the Adirondacks Timberwolf of the Year for 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the Washington County Board of Supervisors and the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors express great appreciation, admiration, and gratitude for Lily Rose Prevost's accomplishments as a quintessential scholar, athlete, and wish her great success in her future career. She's on her way to Castleton. She wants to be a teacher, which is a daunting thing to do in this day and age. So, I think quite a lot of this. This is a pretty important thing to me. And to you. Now, would all the rest of the herd like to come up here and get your picture taken? And does anyone wish to speak? You want to say something?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to this group for, being there for me throughout this whole experience. My mom drove to every single one of my games for the last 2 years, even the ones that were 7, 8, and 9 hours away. So, thank you.
Don't stand next to me. And we also have Vi, who is Lily's coach, and I'm not going to try and do your last name. I'm sorry. Do you want to say anything?
Sure. Of course, you made me. Okay. I am very proud to be here, of course, and Lily has been my student athlete for the last 2 years. But if I could clone her and have 6 of Lily's on the court, I completely would. I've asked her to do it many times. She refused. So I'm from Poland originally. I've played on international level, and I'm so excited for her to experience that as well. So as a coach, she's going to be hard to replace once she graduates. So I'm happy for her, but I'm sad for the team. So congratulations.
Okay, next we have a presentation by Gina Cantanucci Mitchell, our OFA director.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gina Cantanucci Mitchell. I'm the director for Washington County's Office for Aging. And I would like to thank the Washington County Board of Supervisors for proclaiming May as Older Americans Month. May is nationally recognized as Older Americans Month. During the month of May, we honor and recognize older adults for their civic service. This year's national theme is Powered by Connection, which recognizes the profound impact that meaningful relationships and social connections have on our health and well-being. Being connected to others plays a vital role in supporting independence and aging in place by combating social isolation and loneliness. Throughout the year, our office collects nominations for the Older Americans Month honoree. Residents 60 and older and have an outstanding history of civic engagement are most certainly encouraged to be nominated. The Office for Aging Advisory Council then collects all the nominations, removes all the obvious information like the individual's names, and looks at just somebody's accomplishments. And so when they vote, it is anonymous. And on that, I'm honored to say that today we are honoring Sue Allen from Fort Anne and Irene Baldwin from Cambridge. First, I'd like to start by introducing you to Sue Allen. Sue has lived in Fort Anne her entire life. While growing up, Sue's parents instilled in her that volunteering for your community helps to make it a better place to live. At the age of 16, Sue started volunteering as a junior auxiliary member of the Raymond Harvey Post 703 in Fort Anne by helping her father place flags on graves of veterans. Sue continues this endeavor today with Wreaths Across America. When Sue turned 18, she became a senior member of the auxiliary, where she served in the roles of secretary and president. During her employ with Fort Anne School, Sue helped to form the Fort Anne School Support Staff Union, where she served in the roles of secretary and president. Sue has volunteered her time with the school's parent-teacher student organization, the Booster Club, supporting the Fort Anne Youth League, served on the Fort Anne Auxiliary, served as a charter member of the Fort Anne Historical Society, helping with the publishing of the book, 300 Years of History, and was a member of the Old Stonehouse Library. After her retirement in 2005, she joined the Queen Anne Seniors Club. In 2010, she became the secretary for the club and holds this position today. She also serves on various Queen Anne senior committees. Sue is a member of the United Presbyterian Church and sits on the Pastoral Relation Committee. And commendably, Sue is a breast cancer survivor since 2007. Sue was asked what advice she would give to older New Yorkers about volunteering, and she responded, "Volunteering gives you a sense of satisfaction by being able to do something good. Giving back to your community helps to make your community a better place to live. Someone once told me, if I sit too long, your pipes will rust. So keep moving and get involved. It helps you to keep young." Congratulations, Sue. Next, I'd like to share with you Irene Baldwin's story. Irene is a longtime resident of Cambridge. She was born in Albany and grew up in Salem. After Irene got her master's degree in English education, she began teaching English at Cambridge Central School and was employed at the secondary school for 40 years, doing a job that she truly loved. She was the founder and advisor of the literary magazine, Whatever. Irene is actively living her later years volunteering, traveling, reading, writing, and working at Kimberly Farms Horse Camp in the summers as the director of their arts and crafts. She also has a one-day-a-week job as a medical case manager. Irene keeps a happy connection with her school by being a literacy volunteer. She continues her connection by working with a third grader, helping him gain proficiency and joy in reading. Irene is part of the Salem Area Women's Club. Under the umbrella of the club, Irene is the liaison with the Hugh O'Brien Youth Organization at both Salem and Cambridge schools. Irene is an avid horsewoman and has been involved with equines since she was 12 years old. She volunteers as a board member and treasurer of the Gallop to Success program at Kimberly Farms. Irene is an occasional writer for a column called Around Town, appearing in the Eagle, and she also teaches memoir classes for older adults who want to crystallize their memories for posterity. As you may have guessed, she is also active in a book club. Irene's advice for older New Yorkers and people in general is to realize that life is short. So many programs exist where a person can lend a helping hand or share his or her expertise. To quote Irene, "If you are able, go out into your world and live fully, giving of yourself to others." Congratulations, Irene. So as you can see, both Sue and Irene have dedicated countless hours to volunteerism and civic engagement. They are truly leaving amazing footprints in our communities. Sue and Irene, I would like to take this moment to thank you for being true role models, for showing that action speaks louder than words, and for doing your part to making Washington County a great place to live, raise a family, retire, and give back. You will always learn, you are always willing to learn something new. You are truly superheroes without capes. So thank you. Oh.
We always give you seniors a year
Oh.
a Washington County pin to wear,
Nice.
even
Thank
though I
you.
don't necessarily trust horse ladies. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I'm very honored. And I would also like to say that there are so many people in Washington County who are volunteers. And I retired from my position as English teacher 20 years ago. And during this time, there are just so many ways that you can reach out and help. And I'm honored to be recognized. Thanks so much.
Sam Hall, I've known for quite a few years. Matter of fact, we went to school. He was a few years ahead of me. But he knows how active my family has been in the community and stuff with the Legion. And it's just amazing. And I really appreciate all of this award and everything. It's giving back to the community that you love. I'm busier now than when I was working. I mean, I don't know where the time goes and everything, but I haven't been home at all this week. But it's worthy. It gives your heart a good feeling and everything, and that's why I appreciate this award from Washington County. Thank you.
So we have for both of you signed proclamations by our chairman, Robert Hankey, that we'd like to give to you.
Hey, you have in front of you the condensed minutes from April 19th, 2024, and I'll consider them accepted as mailed unless there's any additions or corrections. Do I see any additions or corrections? Seeing none, we will consider them accepted as mailed. Any communications?
For communications, we're in receipt of Warren County's resolution number 138, appointing members of the Adirondack Community College Board of Trustees. And we received Supervisor O'Brien's resignation from the Warren Washington Industrial Development Corporation. That's all I have for communication.
Thank you. Any other communications? Seeing none. Committee reports, audit committee.
Chairman, I'd like to move the audit committee report, full board. And total payments this month are $4,510,909.65.
By Supervisor Pedler, Shaw, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Hahn, Larry, and Noland. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. His mortgage tax warrant. Who's moving that?
Yeah, I'll move them mortgage tax warrants.
By Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Shaw, Hall, Wilson, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And next to the introduction of local law B of 2024, if the clerk would read the title, please.
Introductory Local Law B of 2024, County of Washington, New York, introduced by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan. Title, a local law in relation to the administration of the Washington County Workers' Compensation Self-Insurance Plan and superseding previous local laws concerning the same.
Thank you. We have four proclamations in your packet. One's to the Granville Rotary Club for 100 years of service. One is to Gary Danio for 50 years of service at the department. Another is for Gerald Aiken for 50 years service at Cambridge Volunteer Fire Department. And so proclaiming May of 2024 is Mental Health Month. Hope you'll all take that into consideration today. Supervisor, privilege of the floor. Anybody want privilege? Merle?
I'm hoarse, so it'll just sound bad. In the 1840s, 1850s, New York and Massachusetts had laws on the books that said poor Irish people who did not own property could and were deported from here because they were poor. This is part of New York's history. You are repeating that history. It seems to me that you as a body do not want any immigrants in this county. Well, I have been here. I pay. Where am I to go? Where are you gonna go? Since all of you are immigrants too. In some way. Even our Native Americans are immigrants from across the Bering Sea. Thank you.
Did go to a naturalization ceremony where we just welcomed 27 new citizens last week. Okay, any other privilege of the floor? Seeing none, we'll move on to the introduction of resolutions. I need a motion to set aside the rules for resolutions 182 and 183 and to waive the reading of the resolves.
Chairman, so moved.
Supervisor Wilson, second. Fedler, Hall, Hahn, Campbell, Wang, and Nolan. Discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. If the clerk would read the resolves only.
Resolution number 182 by Supervisor Campbell, title Washington County Board of Supervisors, seeker resolution regarding the issuance not to exceed $15,500,000 of serial bonds by the County of Washington, New York for the construction of a septage receiving station and sludge dryer at the Sewer District Number 2 facility, including obtaining original furnishings, equipment, machinery, and apparatus in the Village of Fort Edward, Washington County, New York. Resolution number 183 by Supervisor Campbell, title a resolution authorizing the issuance not to exceed $15,500,000 serial bonds of the County of Washington, New York for the construction of a septic receiving station and sludge dryer at the Sewer District Number 2 facility, including obtaining original furnishings, equipment, machinery, and apparatus in the Village of Fort Edward, Washington County, New York.
Recess, do we? Let's move right on to consideration.
Resolution number 153 by Supervisors Clary, Fedler, Campbell, Shaw, Skelly, Baker, Wang, title Resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Washington County, establishing the Board of Supervisors of Washington County as lead agency pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act relative to the proposed project of the application by the Board of Supervisors to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Places Snowmobile Trail Grant and Aid application for the year 2024-25.
Chairman, moving resolution number 153,
Moved by
please.
Supervisor Clary, second. Fedler, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Campbell, Wang, and Noland. Discussion. You've all got the seeker form in your packet. I presume you've reviewed it carefully. Are there any questions on that? We can address them to Dan. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 154 by Supervisors Clary, Fedler, Campbell, Shaw, Skelly, Baker, Wang, title Resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Washington County issuing a negative declaration pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act relative to the proposed project of the application by the Board of Supervisors to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Places Snowmobile Trail Grant and Aid application for the year 2024-25.
Chairman, moving resolution number 154, please.
Moved by Supervisor Clary, second. Fedler, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Campbell, and Noland. Discussion on this. Once again, you've got it to read. Any questions on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 155 by Supervisors Nolan, Hall, Hogan, Ferguson, Wilson, Baker, Hahn, titled to reappoint member to the Washington County Office for the Aging Advisory Council.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution number 155.
Moved by Supervisor Nolan, second. Fedler, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Hahn, Campbell. Discussion. For some of you new, Supervisor Bruce was a supervisor of Salem for a number of years. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 156 by Supervisors Fedler, Wilson, Hogan, Nolan, Baker, Hahn, titled to approve County Emergency Management Plan for 2024.
Chairman, moving resolution number 156.
Moved by Supervisor Fedler, second. Hall, Fisher, Baker, O'Brien, Hahn, Campbell, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 157 by Supervisors Fedler, Wilson, Hogan, Nolan, Baker, Hahn, title Resolution authorizing the chairman to sign a memorandum of agreement for the administration of FY 23-24 Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Funding Awards from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services.
Chairman, moving resolution number 157.
Supervisor Fedler, second. Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Hahn, Campbell, and Noland. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 158 by Supervisors Wilson, Fedler, Ferguson, Baker, Wang, title to accept land lease agreement, Verizon Wireless.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution 158.
Moved by Supervisor Wilson, second. Fedler, Hall, Fisher, Baker, O'Brien, Campbell, Clary, Wang, and Noland. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 159 by Supervisors Wilson, Fedler, Shaw, Ferguson, Baker, Wang, title to authorize purchase of a loader via Sourcewell contract.
Chairman, moving resolution 159.
Supervisor Wilson, second. Fedler, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Campbell, Wang, and Noland. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 160 by Supervisors Wilson, Fedler, Shaw, Ferguson, Baker, Wang, title to award bid 2024-20 Washington County DPW County Route 37 pavement preservation.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution 160.
Supervisor Wilson, second. Fiddler, Hall, Baker, O'Brien, Campbell, and Wang. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 161 by Supervisor Hanky, titled to appoint member to the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Agency and Civic Development Corporation.
Is there a unanimous second? Have a unanimous second? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Has to go now to Warren County. They won't take it up until their June meeting, so you'll be appointed for the July meeting of the agency.
Resolution number 162 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to set public hearing date on introductory local law B of 2024.
Moving resolution 162.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 163 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to amend 2023 budget for various departments.
Moving resolution number 163.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 164 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to increase reserve technology projects.
Moving resolution number 164.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 165 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title, amend 2024 County Road Fund budget for equipment purchases.
Moving resolution number 165.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 166 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title amend budget capital project number 128 Marcicelli Grant Projects for CR 37 pavement preservation project construction.
Moving resolution number 166.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 167 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title amend budget Sheriff for Marine Patrol Grant.
Moving resolution 167.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Hahn, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 168 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title amend budget Sheriff for Criminal Justice Discovery Reform Grant.
Moving resolution 168.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Hahn, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 169 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to authorize chairman to sign contract amendment to Wright Pierce Contract, Washington County Sewer District Number 1 Sewer Rehabilitation Project.
Moving resolution 169.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 170 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled Resolution Urging the State of New York to Enact the Rescue EMS Package of Legislation to Strengthen Emergency Medical Services.
Moving resolution 170.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Hahn, Larry, Roselle, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 171 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled Resolution Opposing Senate Bill S 4545 and Assembly Bill A 3069 that attempt to consolidate the 109 industrial development agencies into 10 regional industrial development agencies and urging the governor not to sign said legislation if passed.
Moving resolution 171.
By Supervisor Campbell, second. Hall, O'Brien, Hahn, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. Mr. Holt.
You lose local control.
Rationale recall reading.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One name, Mr. Hogan.
Resolution number 172 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to approve indigent legal services contract renewal for 2024 through 26.
Moving resolution 172.
By Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 173 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title amend the staffing pattern and title by grade schedule to remove unused county clerk titles.
Moving resolution 173.
By Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. This is a roll call.
Mr. Henke,
Yes.
Mrs. Fedler, Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Baker,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Hahn,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mr. Skelly,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mrs. Clary,
Yes.
Mr. Wang, Mr. Rozell. The resolution is adopted, 4,646 yes and 44 absent. Resolution number 174 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled Supplemental Mortgage Tax Disbursement.
Moving resolution 174.
By Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 175 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to reject bid 2024-21 St. Paul's roof replacement.
Moving resolution 175.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 176 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to approve stop loss insurance for plan year 2024-25.
Moving resolution 176.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Pedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 177 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, title amend 2024 budget and exempt salary schedule, District Attorney.
Moving resolution number 177.
by Supervisor Campbell, second. Bedler, Hall, Larry and Nolan. Discussion. Can you spell?
Unfunded mandates. I was giving it to you.
That's a roll call.
Mr. Hanky,
Yes.
Mrs. Fedler, Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Baker, Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Hahn,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mr. Skelly, Mr. Hogan, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mrs. Clary,
Yes.
Mr. Wang,
Yes.
Mr. Rozell.
No.
Resolution is adopted, 3,426 yes, 1,220 no, and 44 absent. Resolution number 178 by Supervisors Campbell, Fedler, Shaw, Skelly, Hogan, Clary, Hall, Wilson, Nolan, titled to amend the Washington County voucher policy.
Moving resolution 178.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Bedler, Hall, O'Brien, Larry and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 179 by Supervisors Hall, Shaw, Campbell, Fedler, Skelly, Wilson, Nolan, title amend staffing pattern, personnel, civil service.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution number 179.
By Supervisor Hall, second. Bedler, O'Brien, Campbell, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 180 by Supervisors Hall, Shaw, Campbell, Fedler, Skelly, Wilson, Nolan, title amend staffing pattern, real property tax services.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution number 180.
Supervisor Hall, second. Bedler, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 181 by Supervisor Campbell, title a resolution authorizing the issuance not to exceed 8 million serial bonds of the County of Washington, New York for planning, design, acquisition, rehabilitation, replacement, and installation of improvements to the sewer system for Sewer District Number 2 Stormwater Separation Project in the Village of Hudson Falls, New York.
Moving resolution 181.
Supervisor Campbell, second. Bedler, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Hahn, Wilson, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion. This is a roll call, requires 2/3 to pass.
Mr. Hanky, Mrs. Fedler.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Baker,
Yes.
Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Hahn,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mr. Skelly, Mr. Hogan, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mrs. Clary,
Yes.
Mr. Wang, Mr. Rozell. The resolution is adopted, 4,387 yes, 39 absent. Resolution number 182 by Supervisor Campbell, title Washington County Board of Supervisors seeker resolution regarding the issuance not to exceed 15.5 million of serial bonds by the County of Washington, New York for the construction of a septage receiving station and sludge dryer at the Sewer District Number 2 facility, including obtaining original furnishings, equipment, machinery, and apparatus in the Village of Fort Edward, New York, Washington County.
Moving resolution 182.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Bedler, Hall, O'Brien, Fisher, Hahn, Wilson, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion. You've all read the seeker thing. I would like to point out that unfunded mandates don't always cost you direct dollars. Doing seeker forms for something like getting a loan is a tremendous waste of time on every level of government across the entire state. It costs millions of dollars a year to do these things. And it's definitely an unfunded mandate. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 183 by Supervisor Campbell, title, a resolution authorizing the issuance not to exceed 15,500,000 serial bonds of the County of Washington, New York for the construction of a septic receiving station and sludge dryer at the Sewer District Number 2 facility, including obtaining original furnishings, equipment, machinery, and apparatus in the Village of Fort Edward, Washington County, New York.
Moving resolution number 183.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Excuse me, Fedler, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Hahn, Wilson, Larry, and Nolan. Discussion. This is also a roll call which must pass by 2/3.
Mr. Hanky,
Yes.
Mrs. Fedler, Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher, Mr. Baker, Mr. Nolan,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Hahn,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mr. Skelly, Mr. Hogan, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mrs. Clary,
Yes.
Mr. Wang,
Yes.
and Mr. Rozell. The resolution is adopted, 4,387 yes, 39 absent.
Those resolutions, are there any supervisors' comments? Ms. Clary.
I want to thank everyone for allowing me to go speak at the Adirondack graduation, or Washington County now. Achieved, great things at the, through agriculture and, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. The graduates were excited. The families were ecstatic, and they always do a very, very
You went by, yeah.
And so, that was really appreciated. The other, I've got two more things. Okay. I'm very thankful to the DPW, crew that completed the bridge on County Route 49. You don't know how many times I got right to the road closed sign and had to reroute myself. And it's really nice to have it open. They did a terrific job. It was done before it was, expected to be done. It's obvious they care about what they do. So a really nice DPW crew. The other thing is the Salem, taking after the Granville Foundation. We've been meeting with them for the last Salem and through the Glens Falls Foundation. So that has occurred. And we have a Salem Community Table potluck dinner on June 1st. It's after the Grandma's Table in Glens Falls. We invite everyone to come, bring a dish to pass, and then at 7 o'clock, you can run down to Godspell at the Fort Salem Theater. So hope some of you will come. It'll be a nice night. So.
I'd like to announce the tour of the Bat and Kill is tomorrow. I think some events might be starting tonight. I'm not sure, but we do have a member of our team here that's participating, and I think we should cheer them on.
Right? For the bad kill, we can cheer him on. I'm just glad he survives that other one he does. Every year, I think we're gonna have to medevac him or something. But you keep doing it. Oh,
Yes, on behalf of the citizens of the town of Fort Anne, I would like to congratulate Sue Allen for her award as a Senior of the Year. And she was accurate. Her family has done years and years of volunteer work, and her and the rest of her sisters and brothers had as children has carried on over into their adult life. And the citizens in Fort Anne appreciate it, and our community's better off for it. So congratulations, Sue Allen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
else, Mr. Hahn.
Just want to, on behalf of the town of Hartford, invite everybody to the Hartford Memorial Day Parade. we're proud to be kicking off the summer season in Hartford. It's going to be a great day.
Anybody else?
I just want to let everybody know, we passed the last two resolutions with regard to the one of the sewer projects. There are going to be a few more resolutions coming through over the next month, because even though we've done what we need to do to help Kevin be able to apply for funding in June, because there are some funding application deadlines.
I'm going last because I guess I'm gonna cross state line or town line. Cambridge is in White Creek, the school is, and even though whatever, I could have told you what the name of that paper was when we were sitting here because it's such a unique name. It stuck with you. And the second one is for sports, and I'm going to jump in Jimstown for that because Washington County did have a youth. Well, he's not a youth anymore, but
Else? Okay, I got a couple of things. First off, we passed our EMS resolution today. We have talked to the legislators. They held a press conference down on the $1 Million Stairway of all of our legislators, and apparently a whole bunch more based on the press conference are supporting that EMS packet exactly like we passed it. So hopefully our first responders will be recognized as being, a necessary service and get some relief. Perhaps we'll see. Secondly, you passed hazmat plan today without batting an eye. As a conservation officer, I was shot at and stabbed and run over with several different kinds of vehicles and boats and things. And far and away, the most terrifying experiences I had working as a conservation officer were dealing with some of these hazmat issues. Some of the rollovers and some of the intentional releases and all kinds of stuff. That is a very good hazmat plan. That is something that you guys ought to take a look at for in case something happens in your town. It's that's scary stuff, and these guys have done a great job putting that plan together, and it's something you really ought to pay some attention to and read. Kind of a sad one. I'm missing right now the funeral for a young man named Danny Cormie. He's the son of Pete and Sue Cormie. Pete's the competing insurance company up the road from Mr. Hogan. Been residents of Argyle for years and years. Danny was 47. Suffered a heart attack on the golf course, and they revived him, but went into some brain swelling and things, and he was on life support for a couple of weeks. They took him off life support. He lived for another week and just died, left 4 high school age children behind. He's been a great guy, very active in our youth sports, went to every single game from all 4 of his kids, from hockey to soccer. Just a really good community member, donate to all the causes and things. It's a real loss for a kid of 47. I'm old enough to call somebody 47 years old a kid. He graduated with my son, so he's a kid to me. I gave Danny his hunter training class. I was working out in the field one day, and I saw this little spike-horn buck go across the pasture into the woods, and all of a sudden there was a bang. It was hunting season. And so I shut the tractor off and listened. Pretty quick, I heard somebody screaming, "Mr. Hankey, Mr. Hankey." And I went down. It was Danny with his first deer, and he had no clue what to do from that point on. And we took care of the deer and brought it out with the tractor, and his brother came over and got it. And about 3 days later, knocking my back door with a whole big pile of steaks for me. That's the kind of, from the time he was, 15 years old, that's the kind of kid he was. So it's a real loss to the community. And finally, although I'm tolerant of Merle, I'm really resentful of that attitude that, because we're sitting here, because we're a governmental agency, that we are anti-migrant for some reason. It really, really ticks me off. We were over to a very nice ceremony, naturalization ceremony. We provided a little buffet for the people afterwards, a little reception for them, 27 people. All kinds of different, magnificent, different modes of dress. I loved it. I think I read off to you last time the list of countries they came from. If I didn't, it's extensive, it's huge. Did I tell you guys all that? You want me? This was impressive in its number.
Should have said yes, guys.
While I'm looking for it, okay, we had people from Canada, Yemen, India, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Nepal, Afghanistan, Ireland, Egypt, the Congo, Peru, Italy, Turkey, and China. All over here being sworn in as citizens. It was just a heartwarming ceremony. Melissa and I and Dave were there. Just it bring tears to your eyes. And these people are all so happy. They're all clutching little American flags. They all knew their oath of citizenship. They didn't need to recite it. And everybody was smiling and happy, and they had kids there, and their kids are going to be taught that, you know, this is a great place to be. Here's the opportunities. Here's what to do. They were all here for a reason. Canadians were here for healthcare, but no, most people, you know, had jobs, had professions, were, you know, moving here for a reason and becoming citizens. It's no one is any more welcoming to immigrants than we are. Ending up here in front when I gave the proclamation to Lily, her coach went through the same process from Poland. He's the volleyball coach up at ACC, is a Polish immigrant. We are not at all anti-immigrant, and I really resent people saying stuff like that. Anybody else? I saw Mr. Roselle.
Follow up on your deal. My wife, 5 months ago, she was from Brazil, and she's now an American citizen.
So can we say you support immigrants? Okay, anybody else? Okay. Shaw.
I order the chairman of the Washington County Board of Supervisors, Robert Hinkie, I declare this meeting adjourned and stand adjourned until June 21st at 10 a.m. unless specially convened, in which case due and timely notice will be given to all. I'm concerned that my math teacher is the only one that ever pointed to me like that, so.